Hey everyone, welcome back and thanks again for joining me on another wonderful Wednesday afternoon. This is a Pawn Free Review with Sean Tomlin, and we're going to be looking back at Week 7 and going ahead and looking at all the stuff that you need to know about Week 8 coming up. What a great week of football action that we had last week. So let's get straight into it and find out what happened last week. Well, it all started off on Thursday night with the Steelers going up against the Bengals. The Bengals had a great game. Joe Flacco is looking like a dominating quarterback, really helping out the Bengals offense now that they've lost Joe Burrow. But I didn't see this one coming. I definitely thought the Steelers were going to take this one. Aaron Rodgers has been looking absolutely awesome. That whole offense has been looking great. But the Bengals were able to take that one by a huge game by Jamar Chase. So if you had Jamar Chase, well, you might just be a little bit happy this week after his performance there. So that was the first game of the week on Thursday, and then we started off our morning slate of games. And it started off with the Rams in London? I can't remember exactly. I believe it was England, and they were going up against the Jaguars, and they absolutely dominated the Jaguars 35-7. They just had an awesome match. Matthew Stafford was just slinging that ball around. Even though they didn't have Puka Nacua this last weekend, they looked pretty damn good. Devontae Adams is showing that, well, just like Aaron Rodgers also is showing it this year, the Jets suck, and you can't do anything with them. In our next matchup, after that nice early morning game, gotta love those, we had the Patriots, I don't know why I fucked that one up, going up against the Titans, and the Patriots ended up winning 31-13. Now, I hate the Patriots. I picked that they were going to lose last week, like I do all the time. I'm not going to lie, Drake May, you looked pretty good, and that backfield is looking pretty awesome. But fuck the Patriots. Let's move on. We had our next matchup. We had the Saints going up against the Bears, and the Bears took that one 20-14. That was a hard-nosed match, but I honestly didn't think it was going to be that close of a game. Obviously, the score makes it look a little bit closer than it was. It actually wasn't really super close or anything like that, but definitely the Saints surprised in that matchup. They were able to actually put up some points. In our next matchup, we had the Panthers going up against the Jets. Who do you think won? Just shout it out. Just shout it out to the rooftops. Yeah, it was the Panthers because they were going up against the Jets, and the Jets are a giant dumpster fire. Even their owner doesn't like them. Doesn't like anything about them. Panthers won 13-6 in that matchup. And the whole combination of Dowdle and now that Hubbard's back is looking pretty good over there. Although they had a little bit of an injury with Bryce Young near the end there, and he had to be replaced. We'll see what happens on that one. Didn't look overly serious, so hoping for the best for Mr. Bryce Young. Then we had the Raiders going up against the Chiefs, and the Chiefs were able to take the Raiders to town 31-0. Nothing the Raiders did was good. Raiders are another team, they just don't look good. They haven't been good, and they're showing just not all there. Even their top receiver wants out of that league, or out of that team. And they're in Vegas. How can you be unhappy being in Vegas? But so the Chiefs took that 131-0, just absolutely destroyed them. Then we had the Browns going against the Dolphins, and I didn't think the Dolphins could look any worse, and the Browns made them look pretty bad, beating them 31-6. Good overall day by Judkins on the Cleveland Browns there, so that was good to see. In our next matchup, we had the Eagles going up against the Vikings, and the Eagles took that one 28-22, but the Vikings actually put up kind of a good fight. Carson Wentz didn't look horrible. Wasn't really able to get to Justin Jefferson that much, which I was happy about because I was going up against him in fantasy. So take that with a grain of salt. The Eagles are a really good team, and the Vikings have a potential of being a very good team, but aren't showing it right now. Then we had the Giants going up against the Broncos in our afternoon game starting slate here. And it was the Broncos winning 33-32. That one was actually a really close matchup. I thought the Giants were going to take that one. Broncos were able to come back and went on a crazy sequence at the end of that game. If you watched it, you were in for one hell of a finish. And it was great. It was a good time. Love seeing it. Then we had the Indianapolis Colts going up against the San Diego Chargers. Or no, Los Angeles Chargers. Sorry. I've always known them to be the San Diego Chargers, so kind of still sneaks in there once in a while. Anyways, the Colts ended up destroying them 38-24. The Colts are looking like the real deal. That makes me pretty happy. They're looking like an awesome team right now, all around. Some people may say that they've gone up against some easy opponents, but they're blowing those easy opponents out of the water. So, you can believe the hate, but I don't. I believe in the blue. Believe in the show. Next up, we had the Commanders going up against the Cowboys, and the Cowboys dominated them 44-22 with C.D. Lamb coming back after being off for injury for an ankle injury that he had. Looked pretty gruesome, thought he broke it, but apparently it's still working. Him and George Pickens are looking awesome in that offense, but their defense is something to not be desired. It's not great. They need some help over there. There's some rumors that maybe Max Crosby might be on the trading block going there, but until things actually shape up in that format, I will believe it when I see it. Then we had the Packers going up against the Cardinals. Cardinals really they're okay, but they've had a lot of fucking problems with their running backs over the past few weeks. A couple going on IR. Some are just completely done for the season. So they've got a good offense there. They don't have the greatest defense, but they're able to still put up some good numbers here and there. The matchup looked a lot closer than it was. It was 27-23 for the Packers. So don't read too much into looking at that score. It didn't really reflect how the game actually went. Then we had Sunday Night Football with the Falcons going against the 49ers. 49ers took that one 20-10. Was not close for the Falcons. They just could not get their offense going, and Christian McCaffrey looked great. George Kittle had his return game. 2 targets going his way. But did they turn into anything? No, not a thing. Unfortunate, but they weren't able to do it. Then we had our week 7 rounding out with 2 games on Monday night. Yeah, let's throw a Monday night game on at 7. Great idea. Because everyone's going to be able to stay up for that. Especially throw 2 Monday night football games on when the baseball ALCS championship is going on. No one in Canada is watching that. Because the Blue Jays were fucking in that match. And they destroyed it. If you can't tell, I'm also a Blue Jays fan. Only team in Canada, but I've been a Blue Jays fan for a little bit now, so I think it's great. But, so that's all the action that happened last week. Let's look ahead and see what the matchups are going to be next week. And while we're doing that, I'm going to give you my picks for this week as well. So on Thursday night, tomorrow night, we've got the Vikings going up against the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to have a little bit of a little bit pissed off from the way that they may have played over the last weekend. So I think they're going to have a good matchup. Vikings are still going with Carson Wentz right now because J.J. McCarthy is out. So I'm going to take the Chargers on that one. We're going to have our Sunday slate games. No early morning games. Nothing from Europe. We got the Jets going up against the Bengals to start it off with. And I'm going Bengals. Bengals have been looking a lot better with Joe Flacco there. And the Jets are horrible. Giants versus Eagles. I think this matchup's going to be a lot tighter than we all might think, even though with Malik Neighbors not being on that offense sure is ticking with Scatterbo. And Jackson Dart, of course. So, my early lean would be going towards the Giants because I think they got this one. But I think the Eagles are going to be able to take that one. So, if you're a betting man, you bet on the Eagles. Then we got the 49ers going up against the Texans, and I think the 49ers take that one. The Texans have been looking pretty up and down. I'm not too sure that they're a team that you're going to want to be hitching your bandwagon to this weekend or at all this year, really. Then we got the Bears going up against the Ravens. I'm going to go Bears in this one. Bears have been looking like the better team over the last little while. Lamar Jackson's still not there for the Ravens, and they have been kind of sputtering. So I think the Bears have this matchup in their back pocket. Then we have the Browns going up against the Patriots. I don't pick the Patriots. They may look good sometimes, but I'm going Browns. You don't hear me say that a lot, but I'm going Browns. That's enough on that. Moving on. Then we got the Bills going up against the Panthers. This is a tough one because the Panthers' offense has been looking good, but if Bryce Young's not going to be around, you're definitely got some trouble. But it is the Bills, although they haven't been looking as Billy-ish, whatever way you want to say it. They haven't been looking like the Bills, but I think the Bills are going to take this matchup. Then we have the Dolphins going up against the Falcons, even though the Falcons didn't have a great matchup last week. Little bad game. Nothing was kind of going right for them. They're a way better team than the Dolphins. There's so many problems with the Dolphins right now. So I think you want to go Falcons on that one. Buccaneers versus Saints. I'm totally taking the Buccaneers on this one because the Saints just have not been what you thought the Saints were going to be. And it's the NFC South. Anything could happen with that one. So that's the start of your afternoon slate for this upcoming weekend. Then we got the Cowboys and the Broncos. I'm going to take the Cowboys on this one. I think their offense is just too hard to stop. Even though Denver's defense has looked awesome, I just don't think they have what it's going to take to get that one. Then we got the Colts versus the Titans. Who am I going to pick? I think we're going to pick the Colts. Because also the Titans have been looking like hard garbage. And, yeah. I love the Colts. I'm going to pick the Colts. Every single time. Don't even question it. If I say, oh, the Colts are playing this team. Oh, well, he's picking the Colts. End of story. Then for Sunday Night Football, we got the Packers going up against the Steelers. This one, I think it's definitely going to be the Steelers going to be taking this one. Packers have been looking good. Josh Jacobs has been doing an awesome job in that backfield. But I think the Steelers are going to take it out. I think it's going to be one of those field goals to end the game kind of thing. Then on Monday night, we're back to a single game. And we've got the Commanders versus the Chiefs. Commanders have not been living up to their billing this year, so I'm taking the Chiefs on this one. I think they've got what they need. With Rashid Rice coming back, they look pretty dangerous with them. So if you're a betting man, bet on the Chiefs. All right, so that's all for our matchups last week and our matchups coming up this upcoming week. Now we're going to look ahead at some of my favorite things to talk about. We're going to go ahead and look at my top threes in all positions this last week. So to start off at QB, we had Bo Nix, followed by Matthew Stafford, followed by Justin Herbert. Our running backs were led by Christian McCaffrey, Jamar Gibbs, and Jonathan Taylor. Our wide receivers were led by Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, and Keenan Allen. Tight ends were led, surprisingly, by Gadadson. The tight end from the Chargers. He was just getting fed the entire game and looked unstoppable. Then we have Pat Freiermuth and Trey McBride. For our defenses, the Browns took this one, followed by the Texans, and then the Panthers. Next up, we're going to look at what I think the best lineup for your starting fantasy should be. Now, remember, I don't pick kickers. I don't even have them in my fantasy league. So, If you're looking for me to tell you which kicker to put in, probably not going to happen. Well, not probably. It's just not going to happen because I'm just not. Fuck kickers. Anyways, so starting it off for QB, I'm going to say Jalen Hurts. For running backs, Jonathan Taylor and Bijan Robinson. For wide receivers, I'm going to say Jamar Chase and Michael Pittman Jr. For tight end, I'm going to say Tyler Warren. For your flex, I'm going to go Christian McCaffrey. And for defense, I'm going to pick the Colts because going against the Titans, their rookie quarterback, I think it's going to be a good one. Now let's look ahead, or not look ahead. Let's look at Clusterfuck 2's fantasy this weekend. How did things go? Well, in week 7, we had Hot Chub Time Machine, Sean's team, yours truly, going up against GB Packers, Shane's team. With a late surge in the afternoon games and the Sunday night game, I was able to take the victory 174.2 to 168.40. Next up, we had Protect Your Holes, Dan's team, going up against Pass the Dutch. Oh, Protect Your Holes, Ty's team, and Pass the Dutch, Dan's team. Well, Ty, you were able to take that one, 174.30 to 149.90. So good job on that one, Ty. Congratulations. Hope you enjoyed your victory. Next up, we had Nathan's team, Don't Be a Kyron, going up against Simon's team, the Mark Davis Bowl Cut. And Don't Be a Kyron is able to take that victory, 165.55 to 154.90. Then we have what was Lawson's team, now Bianca's team. I'll get into that in our Goal to Go Sapient here coming up. Going up against the Bench Whisperers, Graham's team. And the Bench Whisperers, they were able to take it 129.30 to 83.9. Then we had Les's team, Chase Ventura, going up against Caden's team, Riley Read Me a Book. And Chase Ventura was able to take it 180.85 to 137.50. So that's how everything shook out in the Fantasy League this week. Looking ahead to week 8, we've got a lot of awesome matchups coming. We've got Caden's team going against my team. We've got Simon's team going up against Ty. We've got Graham's team going up against Nathan. We've got Shane's team going up against Bianca. And we've got Dan's team going up against Les. So lots of great action that's going to come. A lot of good matchups right there. Let's look at... let's not look ahead. Let's just look at the standings for Clusterfuck 2. In Division 1, Happy Gilmore, we've got Dan leading it at 4-2-1, followed by Shane at 4-3-0. Then we've got the Mark Davis Bullcut, Simon's team, at 4-3. So tied with Shane there. Then we've got the Bench Whisperers, Graham's team, at 2-4-1. And in the bottom of the league, out of the playoff picture right now, Caden's team at 2-5-0. Then in our next division, we got the Shooter McGavin division. And we've got it leading by Ty's leading 5-2-0. Followed by Les at 5-2-0. Followed by my team at 4-3. Then followed by Nathan at 3-4. And Bianca's team at 1-6. So hopefully she's able to turn that team around, make them a little bit more competitive, see something great out of them. Well, it's been a great show tonight, guys. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for tuning in. Before we get to everything, if you want to know more about the league or you just really enjoy seeing this, go to Instagram, check out @upon.furtherreview, all lowercase, where I'll be putting out, as often as I can, UFR reports where I'll be giving you news and information around the league. Also, if you like this video, hit the like button, throw me a comment, and share so other people can, see this video. Enjoy it as much as you have. And when you put that comment in there, maybe I'll try and get to it in the next episode. Hopefully I will be able to. If there's any other questions that you'd like me to air, also you can message me on my Instagram account that I had said earlier before. So now let's get into it, the goal to go segment. Well, let's start it off in the Fantasy Football League. We had a problem with Lawson. Some issues arose. Unfortunately, Lawson had to move on from the league, and Bianca has taken over now. Hopefully, Bianca's able to take that team right all the way to the championship, but time will tell. Next up, Myers wants out of Las Vegas, apparently. He let everyone know in the Raiders organization that he was not bluffing in the offseason when he did not want to have Jacoby Myers, or he did not want to be on the Las Vegas Raiders anymore. And it's not surprising. But you know you're going to get the touches. You're going to get the attempts going your way. So I don't know why you're not wanting to stay there. I get it, though. It's kind of a shitty team. Then we're going to round off the day. Woody Johnson, the owner of the Jets, thinks it's Justin Fields. It's all Justin Fields. That's the only reason that they're 0-7. Nobody else. Not the fact that they have a horrible offensive line and a crappy defense. But no, it's all Justin Fields. He may not be great, but I don't think he's the only problem. Look, he was able to get some victories with the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. Maybe there's something else going on. Look inward, Johnson. Look inwards. Well, everyone, thank you for joining me again. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Tune into Thursday Night Football. And join me again next week where I'm going to break down everything you need to know.